Have you ever felt like the rough waves of your emotions or the chaos of your negative thoughts were too much for you to handle? Stoicism is an old way of thinking that might be able to help you get through this hard time. Would you believe me? Today, we'll look at these wise words by Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not over outside events. If you understand this, you will be strong. You will go on a trip that will change your life after hearing this powerful sentence. Join us on this trip as we learn 10 lessons from Stoicism that are not just lessons, but ways of life. As long as you have a brave heart and strong feelings, these lessons will help you keep your emotions in check and get through life's storms. Lesson 1. Know what you can deal with. Have you ever been in a storm that wasn't rain and thunder? What about the storms of life? Unexpected events, letdowns, or sudden changes? Stoic philosophers from old Greece and Rome taught us about the difference between having control and not having control. This lesson feels like a lifeline in these storms. Picture this. You have an outdoor event planned, but it starts to rain right before it starts. You can't change the weather, no matter how much you want to. You can choose how you feel about the rain, though. You could be sad and angry, or you could handle it. You might be able to move the event inside or just enjoy the rain. Born a slave, Epictetus was one of the most important thinkers of his time and a Stoic. He said, "Some things are in our control and others not." That sounds simple, doesn't it? Our lives can be changed by the deep knowledge that can be found in this simplicity. Every day we deal with a lot of things. Some of them we can change, like the books we read, the people we hang out with, and the things we do every day. However, there are many things we can't change, such as the weather, global events, or other people's acts. Now, things start to get interesting. Stoics believed that how we understand and react to things happening around us decides how happy we are. The event itself doesn't make us feel anything. How we think about it does. Do you remember a time when you had to deal with trouble? It's possible that you didn't get the job you wanted. While things seemed bad at the time, you may have come to see that they were truly a blessing in disguise that helped you get better or grow as a person. How are we going to make this work, though? Is this something I can control? If the answer is yes, then you should do something. If the answer is no, you can work on accepting things as they are and making changes. If we really understand and accept this concept, we can stop putting ourselves through unnecessary pain. We can be calm in life because we know we can't change the wind, but can change the sails on our boats. Controlling two different things at the same time is a bright spot in a world that often seems to be in chaos. This poem tells us to focus our attention on the things that really matter and to enjoy the peace that comes from understanding that we can't control everything. Lesson 2. Give things some thought before you do them. The art of thought may seem like something from the past because people today value speed and being in the present. In a world where we need to act quickly, pausing and thinking can save the day. Think about how many choices we have every day, from what to eat at a restaurant to what to do for a living. While there are a lot of choices, it's not the number of choices that matter, but how we handle them. Let's use reading a message that makes you feel something as an example. At work, someone might question your work, or a friend might say something light-hearted. Your first thought might be to fight back or get mad. You could dive right into that mental whirlpool. What if you took a step back, though? When you take that short break, you're not stifling your feelings. You're just giving them a chance to breathe and be heard. To reflect, we don't have to avoid or accept our feelings and thoughts without doing anything. We just have to be present with them. There are deep questions you can ask yourself like, why did this comment hurt me so much? Are my current emotions being affected by what I believe or have experienced? Is my first reaction based on what's happening now or on things that happened in the past? Another way to show empathy is to think about what you're going to say before you say it. We can see things from other people's points of view when we give ourselves time. The person who said that might have been having a bad day and didn't know how important what they said was. We and the people around us can better understand things when we think about them. Friends and family may value this habit a great deal. How many mistakes could we avoid if we gave things some thought before we spoke? What number of bridges could be made instead of being torn down? When we think, we get clear, feel kindness, and connect with others. In the workplace, it's also helpful to be able to take a moment to think. When leaders think about their decisions before making them, people tend to respect and follow them more. They believe they are kind, calm, and smart. Most of the time, the decisions they make after giving them a lot of thought hold up. This is how you can rebel against a world that seems to be going at light speed all the time. We won't let the currents of now carry us away. It's a quiet but strong way to say that. By making this promise, we mean we'll look after ourselves, be happy, and be kind to other people. Not only is it a good habit to think before you act, it's also a theory that says understanding is more important than acting on impulse, and long-lasting connections are better than short ones. The trip we take inside has big impacts on the outside world, changing not only how we act, but also how our lives are put together. Lesson 3. Learn to keep your emotions in check. Dispassing is a good idea for anyone who lives in a world that is full of emotions. We should think about what it really means and how it can change things. You don't have to hide your feelings or not care about what's going on around you to be compassionate. It means finding a calm in the middle of the storm. Imagine not being stressed out by things that are happening or even by your own feelings. Think about the last movie that really interested you. Things were stressful, exciting, and maybe even sad at times. While you were interested in the story, you knew it was just a movie. You didn't rush to help the hero or cheer for the bad guy like their troubles were real. As much as you felt the emotions, you were able to keep your distance. The Stoics also believe in this way of living. It's about being aware of your feelings and not letting them run your life. Imagine getting stuck in traffic. It's okay to be mad or upset sometimes. Recognizing your feelings without judging them and then letting them go, like clouds in the sky, is a good way to work on not letting them take over. It doesn't mean you stop caring or being active. It just means you have more control over how you feel. You don't have to act on impulse when you're in a tough spot. You can take a step back and think about your choices. You can escape getting lost in the moment if you can think clearly. This will help you make better decisions and do good things. How we feel about things that are happening outside of our power is also part of compassion. It's normal to feel a lot of different emotions during a world crisis, or when someone you care about is going through a hard time. We don't have to give up or feel hopeless. Instead, we can choose to react with calm and grace. When we practice dispassion, it doesn't mean we're cold or don't care. It just means we stay calm even when bad things happen in life. It's kind of like having a rock that keeps us steady when things get tough. It helps us be strong and kind when we have to deal with problems. We can be a source of strength for ourselves and those around us because it makes us strong and stable. It also tells us that even though feelings are a normal part of being human, we can control them and be calm in the storm. Lesson 4. Be okay with things changing. Change is the only thing that stays the same in life. Everything around us is always changing, from the months to the seasons, to the cells that make up our bodies. Change is always going to happen, but many of us still don't want it. We hold on to what we know and feel safe with, because we are afraid of what we don't know. The Stoics, on the other hand, say that we should welcome change as something that must happen in life, not just accept it. Realizing that things will change shouldn't make you scared or anxious. Instead, it should make you grateful and present. Take a moment to imagine that everything in your life would never change. The people you love would never leave. Your current situation would never get better, and every moment of happiness and pain would last forever. This may sound good at first, but it will only make people lazy and stuck. Life has color, depth, and speed because of how quickly and often things change. Every moment, experience, and relationship is important, but it only lasts for a short time. Because we never know when it will be our last chance, it tells us to enjoy the beauty of a sunset, laugh with friends, and love the people we care about. The problems and failures we experience are also part of the Stoic view of impermanence. When things are hard, it's easy to feel depressed and full of stress. The fact that we know this too will pass gives us peace. If we understand that everything changes, our worries will go away, just like storm clouds do. Also, problems are a good way to remember that we can get through hard times and come out better. So how do we deal with change in real life? You need to change the way you see things to begin. There's no need to fight change, though. We can learn to go with the flow, like a river that bends and turns as it flows. Knowing that things and situations outside of our control will change over time can help us feel detached from them, and we can be thankful for the lessons and chances that come with each turn on our path. Being willing for things to change is like dancing with life. You should fully listen to how it changes and find joy and meaning in every new moment. Lesson 5. Learn how to be thankful. It's easy to be grateful, but it can change the way we see the world. Though things are hard, we should always look at the bright side and enjoy them. When we're thankful, we look at what we have instead of what we don't have, and what is wrong instead of what is right. Stoic thought understood that being thankful can help you find peace and happiness inside. There is hope for happiness in the present if we notice the good things we have. But how do we say thank you? What makes it so important? Being thankful isn't just for big acts of kindness or strange events. It can also be found in the little things that make life great, like the sun on your face, the sound of a child laughing, or the smell of a favorite dish cooking. You should enjoy the little things and know how important they are. The Stoics say that we should think about how temporary these benefits are by picturing ourselves losing them. Think about not being able to feel the sun's warmth or hear someone you love laughing for a moment. How much more important would those memories get? Not picturing bad things happening isn't meant to make us sad. It's meant to make us value the moment more, to tell us that the little things we value are really gifts that are worth a lot. The power of being thankful can also change how we handle problems. When things go wrong, it's easy to give in to negative and hopelessness. We can stay strong and find hope even when things are hard if we learn to be thankful. You can be thankful for things like the love and support of your family and friends, the care of medical workers, and the chance to get better, even if you're sick. Focusing on what you're grateful for can help you stay strong and happy, even when things are hard. So, how can we show our thanks in our daily lives? Just think about what you want to do first. Every day, take a moment to think about what you're grateful for. It could look like a note in a notebook, a mental to-do list, or a conversation with a friend. Try to be detailed when you show gratitude. Don't just say, "I'm thankful for my family," for example. Instead, think of specific things or times that make you grateful for them. You can make these things a habit, which will change the way you see things and make you happy with your life. Lesson 6. Make yourself stronger. Resilience is the ability to deal with problems, adapt to change, and keep going even when things get hard. When life gets tough, this trait can make the difference between giving up and getting stronger than ever. The Stoics knew how important it was to be strong in order to handle life's ups and downs. They thought that if we worked on being strong and stable inside, we could deal with problems with courage and style. But in real life, how do we become more brave? The first step is to change your mind. You don't have to think of problems as bad things. You can see them as chances to learn and grow. When problems come up, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I become stronger as a result? This way of thinking about problems gives you the strength to face them with determination and strength. Another important part of resilience is being able to handle worry and bad feelings. The Stoics said that techniques like mindfulness and meditation could help people become more emotionally stable and calm. These things will help you stay calm and focused when life gets rough. This will help you know what to do and decide what to do. Being strong also means being able to handle change and not knowing what will happen next. Life changes all the time, so our plans and goals need to change too. Stoics say we shouldn't worry about what might happen or try to stop it from happening. Instead, they say we should be open to the ups and downs of our trip. While going with the flow of life, we can stay true to what we believe in. The fact that we can change means we don't have to be afraid of the unknown. Finally, being part of a group and having connections makes you strong. When things get tough, having a group of friends, family, or teachers who are there for you can help and guide you. One great way to get stronger is to share your problems and ask for help when you need it. In its most basic form, resilience means building up the inner strength to deal with problems. Resistant means you know you have the power to get through anything and be better afterward. This lets you handle life's storms with courage and grace. Lesson 7. Show dispassion. People who are truly involved in life feel all of its emotions. However, they also know when to stay in the theater of their minds and watch without getting involved. In our world of too much knowledge, this method saves the day. Every day we get a lot of breaking news and alerts. We would always be tired if we had strong feelings about everything. Anger is a stress reliever that makes you more calm and able to deal with the world. When you're with other people, having compassion is also very important. We all get into fights and heated talks from time to time. It can make the difference between a helpful talk and an argument that hurts everyone if you can stay neutral. We can learn to listen more carefully, reply instead of reacting, and disagree without getting angry or hurt. The first step to becoming dispassionate is to become aware of yourself. We create this space between stimulus and reaction by checking in with ourselves on a regular basis, figuring out what makes us feel bad, and becoming aware of our patterns. We can choose how to respond and act on purpose instead of just acting without thinking. It may sound like dispassion means being cut off from life's pleasures and joys, but it actually makes them better. There is no longer any fear of loss or change, so we can fully enjoy the journey and each moment. Finding balance in a world that is always changing is what dispassion is all about, if we don't care too much about the effects. This map helps us find inner peace and move smoothly through the different parts of life. This not only makes our own lives better, but it also helps the people around us feel clear and calm. Lesson 8. Question yourself. Will this still be important in 5 years? It's going to be hard to keep your cool, be strong, and keep things in perspective sometimes. Every day brings a range of situations that make us feel different feelings, from small annoyances like coffee spills to bigger problems like fights with family and friends. In the middle of something, we often get caught up in how we feel. It might seem like the end of the world if you miss a deadline, get bad feedback, or forget an important date in history. This question, will this matter in 5 years, can help us understand things better. At the same time, this easy but deep question takes us to the past and the present. That heated debate or mischance looks very different now. There are many small things we worry about now that we will never remember in the big story of our lives. Think about the worries and problems you had 5 years ago. How many of them are still correct? How many of them have been pushed aside by new memories, events, and things you've learned? This can make you feel free and humble at the same time. We can figure out what's most important to us by asking ourselves this question often. It helps us tell the difference between issues that will only last a short time and those that will last a long time. A bad day at work may seem like a lot at the moment, but it's only one day in a long career. People are also stronger when they see things this way. Keeping the big picture in mind can help us get through tough times and find answers. We don't have to get stuck on the problem at hand when we're having a hard time. We can instead make plans, make changes, and move forward, knowing that time will often clear things up and give us answers. It's not just about making our problems seem less important, though. We also think about what's important when we answer this question. If we want the things we do and choose to mean in the long run, we need to put money into relationships, personal growth, and experiences that last. Being able to ask ourselves, will this matter in 5 years? Helps us live a greater, more peaceful life. Living in the present moment is important, but we can handle life's ups and downs with ease if we think about this question often. This will help us pay attention to and put our energy into what's important. Lesson 9. Keep a Stoic journal and write in it. Journaling has been praised by many people from different countries and times as a way to keep track of events and also as a way to think, grow, and get clear on their goals for self-awareness and personal growth. That's how the Stoics always did things. A Stoic journal is more than just a list of things you do every day. It's a place to think, talk to yourself, and look at your feelings, decisions, and actions. When you compare events to your own beliefs and ideals, this is where the outside world and the inside world meet. It would be interesting to end the day by talking about both what happened and how you dealt with it. What did someone say that made you mad? Why were you so happy while you were doing something dull? If we break up our day, we can start to see the patterns in our thoughts. We understand why we feel the way we do, what drives our decisions, and how our daily habits shape our lives. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote in a journal that we now call Meditations. It wasn't meant to be shared with the public. It was a private talk where he could guide himself, go over Stoic ideas again and again, and use wisdom to deal with the problems in his life. Through his works, we can see a man who is having a hard time with his feelings, his duties, and his place in the world. No matter what rank you are, you can learn something from a Stoic journal. These days, when there are lots of distractions and information coming at you all the time, it's even more important to set aside time to think about yourself. It helps to check in every day to keep things in perspective and clear your mind when things get crazy. This practice can lead to deep understanding. You may find that some things keep making you stressed over time. This could mean that you need to deal with them or change how you see them. Some habits, like being thankful or mindful, might help you feel better and have a better view on life. The trends that show up can help you grow. Reading a Stoic journal not only gives you thoughts, but it also makes you more responsible. When you promise to think about what you did every day, you hold yourself responsible for your actions, responses, and decisions. Because of this, it becomes a mirror that shows both the outside and the inside of you. Stoic ideas can help you in your everyday life if you keep a Stoic journal. You can learn more about yourself, get better, and take charge of your life this way. You start a journey to learn more about yourself, make your actions more in line with your values, and live a more useful and meaningful life. When we write in a notebook, we take responsibility for what we do and how we act. It gets harder to ignore the same mistake over and over again. We are told to grow, learn, and change instead. A Stoic journal is like having a wise friend by your side who will always be there to listen, help, and show you the way. It's a promise to learn more about yourself, live a life that is in line with your beliefs and principles, and grow as a person. Lesson 10. See problems as chances to learn. There are many problems in the world, from small failures to big changes on a global level. We will always have problems because we are people. Having to deal with these issues would be tough, but what if we saw them as chances? Stoics thought about problems in a very strong way. They thought that we could change how we see and respond to things that happen to us, but not always the things that happen to us. There are lessons to be learned from problems when you change the way you look at them. A quote by the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius best sums up this idea. What stands in the way becomes the way. To show this, think of a river that runs into a rock. There is a rock in the way, but the river keeps going and either wears away at it over time or makes a new path. The rock, which looks like a problem at first, changes the way the river flows. Things that go wrong in our lives can also change our paths and often lead to outcomes we didn't plan for. It can be very upsetting to lose your job, but it can also open up new work paths, teach you new skills, or even give you the chance to start your own business. It's possible that a relationship that didn't work out will help you become a better person and see things more clearly in the future. People are also stronger when they think like Stoics. We are more open and ready to face problems head-on when we see them as chances to learn and grow. What can this teach me? How can this moment help me? How can this change me for the better? Becomes the question we ask instead of, why is this happening to me? Of course, this doesn't mean we should look for problems or ignore real ones. It means understanding that every issue has a fix, a chance to make things better. Taking care of this seed with a good mood, patience, and persistence can help us turn problems into chances to learn, grow, and be happy.